Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to share with you another targeted individual testimony. I had another encounter with one of these higher up level people. I want to show you what I've uncovered. I think I finally understand who these people are working for. So we'll go through that. You're going to be really surprised. I'll just tell you now, but then you can follow along if you want to. They're working for FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, the United Nations. This is called internment resettlement camps. They're taking homeless people, they're taking prisoners, etc. Watch the video, you're going to be really surprised. But these are people that are being recruited and they're taken to these camps. I actually have pictures of the camps. I was able to track one of these luciferians. I did a background check on him, and I was able to track where some of these different camps are. So not only that, I searched to figure out who owns these camps, and that's pretty surprising too. It really all boils down to the big money. You have there was a couple cover organizations, RBP Investments, etc. You follow that chain up, and you get to Ameriprise, which is a horrible company, horrible. And then there was another one, Davy Jones. It's just that's where the money is. So these are being funded by Luciferian companies that control the wealth, all the wealth. And they're in these, umbrella corporations and hidden things here and there under the guise of Department of Homeland Security. Interesting. That's why they are hunting Christians. They're hunting Christians and labeling them enemies of the state. And you see, they can do this. It's actually legal, I guess, under their military power. Because under military power, you do not have to go in front of a judge. They've put in sections of Constitution, sections of law. I think when 9/11 happened, but they put in sections of the law where, where that you don't have to go in front of a court anymore. You don't have to be tried in the court of law. You're tried under a military court and a military tribunal. You don't even have the right to fight it. It's insane. And so this is an organization inside of our government that is targeting Christians. And watch this video for proof. Thanks. Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. I have some new information about targeted individuals. So these people that are targeting Christians, they're working for high-level Luciferians. They may themselves not necessarily be privy to everything that really goes on because they keep them in the dark as much as they possibly can to gain control and maintain control, and make their opinion more easily swayed if they only know little bits of information. But these people are working for high-level Luciferians. Like I said, I just had the displeasure of encountering another one, and still they're trying to hurt me, freaking trying to hurt me. But Father is good. Father is so faithful. Sorry, it was kind of it's so hard to be here and do this kind of stuff. Anyways, so I get to talk to him and because I know that they're being played, and so I was empathizing with him. Here's this person trying to hurt me, and I'm like, look, I'm not going to judge you. I have empathy for you because I know that they're using you. They're using the same, and I showed him a document that I found about the mind tactics that they use on them and then teach them and use on the other people. These people are being played. And I was just able to talk to him and share with him some resources. He was quiet. He was actually listening to me. And the Holy Spirit feeling came on me. And I was able to pray for him. He let me pray for him. He still kept trying to hurt me. But that was a step, you know what I mean? But he let me pray for him. And, I just held my hand on his arm and I just prayed in tongues, and I felt the power of God. I think he felt it too, but he can't say anything, because he doesn't want, let me tell you more about what these targeted, these people are. So there were some clues that the other guy gave me about how he went to a camp and had to put his boots up on a chair and stuff like that, and I was trying to figure it out. And then when he left, because he gave me his name, but he didn't give me his birthday, but he told me what his son, never mind. Anyway, so I looked him up, and I found his last addresses. You're not going to believe this, but they're military camps. And, I'll have to pull up the screenshots and show you those. Yeah, but they're military camps. And they're recruiting people that are committing crimes, especially. Instead of giving them prison time, they'll take them to one of these camps, train them, and put them back out in the world. Or sometimes they recruit people from prison to get them out early. So, they're just looking out for themselves. They're just trying to survive. Just like us. They're just trying to survive. Granted, their selfishness and pride and desire for power or whatever, fear, vulnerability. Yeah, they're vulnerable to being taken advantage of by these high-level luciferians that are just going to use them and cut them off. And, it's sick. It's freaking sick. No wonder Father wants us to talk to these people. Father wants us to talk to them because they're like you and me, but, they might not have a heart of love yet. But I'm telling you, I talked to this guy and I was like, Father has a real strange way of turning things around on people. He'll take a situation and turn it right around on you. And I said, watch this. In less than a month, I tell you what, after the rapture, you're going to be targeted next. They're going to be hunting you. I said, why are you hunting me? You're going to be hunted next. And that sucks. Don't take the mark of the beast. And then he's like, oh, I'm not going to take that fucking mark. I was like, you better run. You think you can survive? I was telling him it's only 3.5 years. A lot of people are going to make it to the end of that 3.5 years. And he was like, yeah. No, I'm not doing that. And so that was really freaking cool. I said, you know what then? I think you're going to heaven or something, yeah, if that's why Father wants me to talk to you, because obviously he loves you, why would he put us in each other's path if he didn't have something to say to you and he didn't want you to know that he loves you, and I told him, I said, you're being used, and I said, it's really hard to admit that you got used and you got played. I know that, I know that, but you know what, you'll be okay. Father still loves you. Okay? And I was like, I don't think you're a bad person. I think they're bad people and they need to pay. Those people at the top who know what they're doing, the Luciferians, the real high ones, those people need to pay. I have mercy for Paul's and Saul's, because they're people too. He's just doing what he's got to do. They make these people believe that we're evil. They show them all kinds of shit and tell them all kinds of lies. They make them believe that they're hunting evil people. Just like Saul was out killing the Christians because religiously he was taught that's, this is a heresy. This is a heretic, This is a cult. Take it out. And, so that he was misguided. And Jesus Christ himself appeared on the road to Damascus and was like, why are you killing me? And he's like, what? And he was able to do great things for Father. So, think about these people. As soon as the rapture happens, some of them are going to know. I hope there's more of us out there talking to them. I know I've been hunted for a while, and it is so hard to find empathy for them. But I needed to understand why. Why are they doing it? And once I started to understand, then you can find empathy. So I want to show you, so talk to them. Please, if you can, go back to one that you might know. Show them this documentation that I'm about to put up on the screen. Show them this and just be compassionate to them, you know, because they're being misled. That's, you know, they're being misled, and they're being used and played, and they're just going to be spit out. At least our Father's got our back. When we're going through this, like, we don't have to worry about going to hell forever. These people, they're being deceived, and their souls, you know, some of them, Father wants to save some of those people. I know it. Anyway, so yeah, there's this awesome document. I'm gonna switch to a screen saver thing or whatever, screen record. Okay, so this is I'll leave the link in the description, but this is publicintelligence.net, USA Army internment resettlement camps, resettlement operations. This is a field manual. Whoa, it's scrolling fast. Yeah, so this is their official field manual for taking prisoners and reprogramming them and putting them to work. No joke. It talks in here about how they use psychological warfare against them to get them to be more compliant. Okay, and IR stands for internment resettlement. So IR operations. It's a military operation. They're basically retraining these people militarily. Put them in the military, and you know, they gotta serve for however long they do, and I think eventually they'll get discharged. This is the service that they're doing for our country, hunting Christians. This is a Luciferian agenda. Oh, FEMA is involved with this. Isn't that funny? FEMA and the UN is involved with this operation. So again, we go back to that one world government. These shadow facilities and shadow forces inside of our country that are targeting Christians. This is real. We've all been dealing with this for a long time. You got to read through this. Okay, here it says DOD, Department of Defense, and FEMA, and Federal Home Management, or whatever it's Homeland Security, as well as FEMA and the UN, as you can see here. Department of Defense. And here it's talking about the Geneva Convention, etc., etc. Okay, here you can see a chart. These are the internment resettlement operations. You have internment, resettlement. Oh, see, internment and resettlement. So internment, you have U.S. military prisoners, detainees, etc. Resettlement, that's more for refugees, etc. Oh, and discharged civilians, or displaced civilians, what DC stands for. So that's kind of interesting. A displaced civilian, you know, could that mean the homeless people or the drug addicts that are out on the street that they recruit and give cards to target people? Like, yes, this is what they're doing. DC's right there. See, dislocated civilian. They are taking homeless people. That's why these people are everywhere. They're everywhere because they can recruit people from anywhere. Take the people that were going to go to prison and they train them a little better. There's definitely a difference between the training. You can tell which level somebody's at based on their skill. Also, these people can detain whoever they want without taking them through the traditional judicial process. It's called a military prisoner. And they have the authority to do this, a court-martial, which totally goes against our constitutional rights to an attorney and due process of law. Here's the dislocated civilians that I was talking about. Displaced person or a stateless person. They're using homeless people. You see? They're recruiting these homeless people into this system, and they're targeting Christians. They're also recruiting felons, you know, and people that have committed more serious crimes, and they train them. Oops, where'd that go? So they train them in a lot of mind control tactics. They train them basically in the dark arts of luciferianism. First, they use this stuff on them without them knowing and understanding what's going on. And that's why it continues to be effective. After they learn it, they don't realize that they did that to them because they have power over the other person. And then each of these people have trainer or handlers. This guy that I just talked to said that he had a coach. No, and so it was funny because in the beginning of the conversation, before he realized, you know, well, he knew everything about me. Like he read my file, which is funny because I've had a guy say, he was a new guy. He said, "Oh, I read your file." He was screwing with me. But of course, I put the pieces together. They do too. They read the files on certain people in general vicinity, and if they can approach them and make contact, you know, they have different files, different people in different locations. These people study up on this. This is their job. It does say that anybody that tries to escape, lethal force can be used. Level 5 lethal force. So they're really not playing around with these people. This is really a dark organization. There's no rights. These people have no rights at this point because they can be shot and killed if they try to leave a gate. They don't get to go in front of a traditional court. They don't get to see a normal judge. These people have no rights. No wonder they're desperate to conform and do what they're told. And I'm sorry if, like, my voice, I get so passionate about this stuff. I've dealt with it for a long time, and there's a lot of emotion attached to this. I'm only now really starting to see this, you know? It's crazy. Here again, the United Nations. These people are victims too. They've been put through torture. They've had their rights taken away. They've been through mind control programs. And then they've been appealed to. Oh, you know what else this guy said? In the beginning of the conversation, like I told you, I've been keeping really quiet about what I know about them. And so I they're always asking me what I know, how much I know. And I normally don't say anything. I know that we're so close to the rapture that I'm the last 2 people I've actually spit a lot of knowledge. I actually showed them that I know more about their dark arts than they're allowed to know. And they kind of look at me like, oh, whoa, you know. They realize. I tell them, you're at the bottom of the pyramid. People at the top have a whole nother agenda. And they're using different tactics. Look at the tactics, and they can see it because they've been taught some of it. And so both of the guys listened to me. So they appealed to this last gentleman that I spoke with. He said that he had royal bloodline. They gave him the alien agenda philosophy. We talked for 5 hours, I think. But they gave him the alien philosophy where these aliens have been trying to breed and make a better race and all this stuff. And he was one of them. And so he had royal bloodline in him. That's what they appealed. They appealed to his ego. First of all, get him to want this Luciferian power. You see, they break you down and they figure out what's going to work to get you to comply. It's messed up. It's messed up because they're making these people want Luciferian power and want to be destroyed because they don't know the truth. The higher ups know the truth. They know who they're fighting against. They know they're not going to win. And they're still trying to kill our God anyway. Well, they can't. No CERN on the world is going to get what they want. And they should know that. They're going to take out anybody they can in the process. And abuse and exploit. These are exploited people, most of them. I think there's probably some real evil people. I know there's some real evil people because some of them are really vicious and they're just freaking vicious. But the last two guys, the last one especially, he was not that vicious. He actually listened to me a lot more than he tried to hurt me, which was cool. But he said, professional, he's like, I gotta get a job. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was like, what you're doing is freaking wrong. But, you know, he made it clear he had a job to do, and I didn't want him to get in trouble, so I was like, yep, all right. But, you know, we're making an impact. We're making an impact little by little. We got to pray for these people, too. Father, how did you give me a heart for somebody that hunts me? Like, I know this is weird. You know, Jesus hung on that cross, and he said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. They're believing a lie, and they don't understand what they're doing. They're being played by Lucifer. Most of them. I would like to think that not too many people are just that evil, except maybe Bill Gates and the ones at the top. You know what I mean? Those people are truly evil. I would like to think most of these people are just exploited. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I hope this has blessed you somehow. Keep praying for these people. Oh, I want to show you this other thing real quick. Alright, so this was the first stalker that I talked about on one of the videos. He posed as a homeless person, playing on my sympathies and, you know, whatever. Playing on many things. He told me he was 43. Never gave me a birth date, but he told me a sign, and I was able to find him. So the address got traced to Gilbert, Arizona, which is funny because that's where the other guy said he was from. And I'll show you as I dug deeper and deeper into what they're doing with people. Oops, sorry. There's a bunch of stuff in here. It's not really organized. Okay, so one of the houses that he lived in, I went and looked at the title deed to the whole complex. It's actually not even an individual house. It's the entire complex is in the housing deed. And I'll show you these military complexes in a minute. But they went under the business name Varsity Termite and Pest Control. That's who's hunting Christians. Can you believe this? That's at least who is registered on these military properties. You keep going deeper and deeper. Then it was owned by Lisa with Irby Investments and then Ameriprise. It just got so much deeper, and it went all the way to the top, to Jones Investment. You see here? This was one of the... Now see, I should have organized this a little bit better. But anyway, yeah, I'll put all this in maybe a file or something that y'all can access, or if you want to contact me. But you see, really, it went all the way to the top to this Edward D. Jones. Edward D. Jones. It's back to the money. You follow the money. But this is who is funding this stuff. This is where these properties are. This is who they're being funded by. But it's under the cover organization of the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA and the United Nations. It just gets deeper and deeper. I just uploaded these. I should have put them. Yeah, but see, I had to trace all these different properties. I think I found like 3 or 4 of these military complexes just by following paper trails and all this stuff. And yeah, okay, so some of these areas. Oh, this was one of the title company. That's what that was. the title company that owned it. Let's see. Okay, and then, so you can research into Jones and Ameriprise. They're criminal organizations. You go on Google, on Wikipedia, and you can find how these people have just committed so many crimes. They've had to settle so many lawsuits because of it's just steeped in crime. These businesses, Jones in particular and Ameriprise in particular. And again, that's where all of this traced to. So here's that address that was on his background check, and it's called Varsity Termite and Pest Control. They're hunting Christians. This is real. Okay, and again, on the title company, this was the title company, and you know what they did? They changed her name one letter, and she was on 2 or 3 different titles. And I actually, before I prayed against her and this whole organization, I contacted her on Facebook and I said, do you know what these corporations are doing? Are you aware of it? She did not respond. So I went ahead and prayed very, very powerfully with my guitar. And I felt just in the presence of the Lord so strong. I was just shaking with anger towards these people that are hurting Christians. This is her right here. She's on the title for this place. You can go look all of this up, find all the paper trails yourself if they don't scrub them. Again, this is that's Ameriprise. You can see what's real freaking interesting is this Ameriprise. They're not making any money. They're making no money. Like, their net income is nothing. When you go down to, I don't know if that's on this one, but when you go down to what they're spending, they're barely breaking even. This is a cover organization. Crime at the biggest levels. Here's another one of those. You see, here's another one of those addresses. And again, this one's called D. Jones Land Surveying. And this one got traced back to the Dave Jones Company. Which is weird, because the Luciferian, he mentioned that. He mentioned Jones, Davy Jones. They're using, it's hard to explain this, but they're using the power of all this money in these rituals and this neurolinguistic programming and this technology, this quantum technology that they're directing towards Christians. It's hard to explain without, sounding crazy, but it's true. This is how this stuff works. So here's one of them. I'll show you another one. That one looked way more residential. Some of these other ones, again, that's that Irby Investments. That same person, Lisa. She changes her name and owns a bunch of these things, or at least she's the cover for it. Okay, here's one of them that's absolutely a military complex. With Google Mapping, you can't even go inside with Google Mapping. They only map the perimeter. And so you can't even see a street view or nothing on these military installations. And again, this goes back to resettlement camps. These are the resettlement camps. That's them right there. Right here. Here's the door. I mean, that's as much as you can see of the entrance. I couldn't believe this. Again, sorry, none of this is in order. But I just couldn't believe it. Here again, here's some more of that title stuff. And you can always pause it and look over it and track it all yourself. I'm just kind of going through this pretty quick. And see, they encourage criminal activity in these organizations. Here's an ex-manager that said they got fired for flagging violations. They encourage criminal mentality. This is evil. These evil companies where all the money is. Okay, this is who is funding these targeted the people that are targeting us. I don't know if I can scroll up. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's one of them, and as you can see, the Google cannot go in there, and Google goes everywhere. Google will just go everywhere. But this is a pretty big complex. I can't really scroll in too much farther. Some of them look much less comfortable. The ones that are as you level up in these in this organization, they'll start treating you better and better. And some of these places have like huge motels, or not motels, I'm sorry, pools and very pretty landscaping, etc. They reward you. They reward you. So here's another one. Here it is. These are military internment camps, and they have prisons. Why doesn't Google go in there? And why is all this tied to the Luciferian that came in my house? Why was his name there? They wanted me to find this. They wanted me to find this. So they can what? Intimidate me? Because, oh, they have all the money? I'll expose you and especially pray against it. And I did too. And that was strong prayers. Strong prayers. Here's another one of those addresses. This is this D. Jones Land Surveying and Mapping. But see, they take the vowels out of mapping. That's some satanic stuff right there. Can you see that? They take the vowel out of mapping. Did you know when Father converted Sarai and Abram, he added a vowel to their name? Sarah, Abraham. He added a vowel because our Father, apparently, that's his thing. And the Satanists take the vowels out. Isn't that interesting? So they're surveying and mapping the area and the Christians, and you know who. They're basically gathering information on targeted individuals. And these are just cover names. But this is real. This is all real. This is the modern day persecution of Christians right here. Again, this Ameriprise company. You can just see like so many. $15 million settlement, 12 million, 7, 5, etc. It just goes deeper and deeper. These are satanic corporations. Satanic, absolute. And see, you could, through this dude's background, you could see him leveling up. You could see where he started out at, and then apparently, yeah, he made it through, and now he's working. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know that there's really too many other pictures to show you guys, but yeah, so that's kind of, and see, here's a few more of his addresses. He had almost one new one every day. I'm not joking you. Here's one. It's just deep. It goes so deep. If you ever hear these people say they lived in Arizona, this is what they're talking about. And what's funny is both of them said that. Both of them said that. They both been put through these military internment camps. Because what I said to him, the last guy that was here, what I said to him, you know, you could see that it touched him. I'm like, they use the same tactics on you as they do on me. You know, but he had to work. He's professional. Yeah, anyway. It goes deeper and deeper. Here's that varsity termite and pest control, and you this is all public record. It just takes some digging, and you can find this. If you know the name of your stalker, figure this out. Figure it out, expose them, and then you can understand more about them. Because what they do right now, they divide us and they keep us hating each other, and that's where they keep winning. Now if we loved them and we informed them, I want to go to one of these installations and I want to make a packet and go hand it out and show all of them what the heck they're really involved in. Fight back. You know, if we're scared and we're mad, you know, these people still win. Pray against these companies. Pray against them in all power of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Pray against them, because their destruction is coming. The individual people, though, definitely pray for them and pray for their salvation. Love you guys.